Hey, Josh the Balloon Guy here. So, being a balloon artist, I get to participate in some pretty interesting things, um, and for some pretty interesting organizations. One of which is out here in Tyler. We have an organization called East Texas Lighthouse for the Blind, and they service all of East Texas, of course. And last fall, I got to do White Cane Day with them, which was a really cool experience because you have visually impaired students, and they come out and they do an awareness walk, and then they come to different vendors. Get to see what services are available for them and all of that. Plus, you know, have some fun. Be kids because a lot of times folks with disabilities, they don't get that opportunity a whole lot. Whether it's because people are looking down on them or people think that they need to have things done for them. Um, but it was a really cool experience because I'm there twisting balloons, and what I'm doing is um, I'm doing the normal thing that I would do. I have my menu, have items, and they can request things, and I can do a couple of twists, and then they can have that tactile experience. They can feel what I'm doing, and I'm kind of explaining it to them. Um, well, one of the ladies that works for East Texas Lighthouse for the Blind, um, actually several of them go to church with us, but one of them in particular, and she's requested a few things on here. But she asked about, is it possible to make a white cane out of balloons? Because now this won't necessarily be on my menu, but I have another event coming up for them over the next couple of weeks. I actually have uh, three different times that I'm going to be with them over the next 2 weeks for a Easter egg hunt. And like the way they talk about this Easter egg hunt, I am excited to get to go and be part of that and get to experience it because the where you have a traditional Easter egg hunt and the kids are running around finding all the colored eggs in the grass and stuff. These kids, they're actually listening for the Easter eggs because the Easter eggs will beep. Now, some of them are only partially visually impaired, and so they will be able to see things, but some of them are fully visually impaired, and they have to listen. Um, but anyway, that's what brought about the subject of whether or not I could make tonight's item, which is a white cane. And so I'm going to be using, uh, and we're going to kind of make it up on the fly, but I've got a black 160 here that I'm actually going to just right now tie into a loop. Okay, because one of the important components of the cane, so it doesn't get away from the person using it, is that it has a strap. And so that's what I'm using the 160 here to represent. Then we're going to use a black 260. We're going to blow it up. Overall, it's only going to need to be about two and a half hand widths long. But blowing it up, because the next key piece of the white cane is the grip. And this is where the user will hold it. Of course, means the grip, right? And the grip, as I was figuring out while I was looking up information on this, is designed in a way that, along with the tip of the cane, it provides tactile feedback. Oh, and for those that have asked why I keep looking down or looking to the side, or I have monitors because I know several things that I did, I was kind of half off the screen. And I still haven't perfected my setup here because if I had, it would be like I would either have a screen right directly in front of my camera or a lot closer in proximity. But I'll work on that. Anyway, but the grip works with the tip to help provide tactile feedback. And so I'm going to take and I'm going to do a very shallow tulip twist because I don't want the, and it's a marriage twist because I tied that black 160 into it, and I don't want that to get lost in a deep tulip twist. Okay, then I come down about, like I said, a little over 2 hands. I'm going to go ahead and twist off, and then I'm going to tear off because I'm going to use another marriage twist here to attach this black grip to the next part of our cane. And for this part, I'm using a white 260. This is where the white cane comes in, because the majority of the cane is white, and that's a visual indicator that someone's using a white cane. They need it for visual impairment. And we're going to go leave about a hand width on here just for my representative cane. I'm going to take that nozzle and I'm going to tie it in with the part of the black balloon, the remaining part of the black balloon. And they're going to go ahead and do a slightly deeper tulip twist, marriage twist this time. I let go of the knot. Let me go ahead and get a hold of that. There we go. Just a slightly deeper tulip twist, so the two pieces work together. And then I'm going to go to the end of that, and I'll let the hand. I'm going to go ahead and grab another 4-finger bubble there to shorten it just a little bit more, and then I'm going to tear off and tie off. Next, we're going to take a red 260, and the red part of the cane helps again as a visual marker for those that do have normal vision, or less impaired vision, to be able to see the cane, because the cane is moving out in front of the visually impaired person, and this helps act as any other red item might, as a heads up, look out, just so that that it's there, because the white part of the cane can certainly blend into the surroundings and be a little harder to see. The red makes it easier for those of us that are not vision impaired to be able to see the tip of the cane. And so we're going to go again, just like the grip, only enough to do about 2 hand widths. And I should have tied that knot a little closer to the nozzle. That is okay. And one more time, feed down, a little bit longer, making another marriage twist. And then push back a little bit. Then figure out, like I said, about 2 hand widths. And then tear off and tie off. And the last part of the cane, and just in the quick little research that I've done, excuse me, arguably the more important part is the tip of the cane. Now there are several different tips, or what I'm going to add on here is the most common, the most common tip for those that are just beginning to use the cane. It's called the ball tip. And it's about the size of an orange, okay? And it is for those just learning to feel the tactile feedback from the cane. And so I take my 5-inch round white. I'm going to tie onto it here and then kind of feed that back through. Now, obviously, a balloon is not going to provide very good tactile feedback as a cane, but it gives us a visual representation of a mobility tool used by those with impairments. And I encourage you to go learn something you don't know about your neighbors. Those around us. Now, your neighbor's not necessarily physically the person that lives next door to you, but it could be anybody. In this case, it's the visually impaired. And again, I'm excited to get to do this, man. Like, it's awesome that I get to share my gift with all kinds of people. You know, like whether it's young or old, or you know, different abilities, or just even different languages. Like I can share balloons with people of another language, and like we can both have that amazement. Um, but that is my take on a white cane. Uh, so Megan, I hope that meets with your approval. And as always, keep practicing, and I'll see you next time.